What's up, everybody? In this video, I want to go over how to appropriately build up to working sets, how to read tempos, and how to understand the RPE scale. How to read tempo. Let's use the example 30x1. So tempo is written as a 4-digit sequence representing the speed of each phase of a lift. In this case, 30x1, 3 is a 3-second lowering phase or eccentric action. 0 is a 0-second pause at the bottom. X would represent meaning an explosive action because it's not a number. So an explosive concentric action, or stand up as fast as possible if it was a squat. And then a 1 would represent the pause at the top or reset of the movement pattern. Using the squat as an example, the lowering phase would be controlled 3 seconds, then immediately reversing direction because there's no pause at the bottom. Then you're going to drive up explosively, which is that X, and then you take a 1-second pause at the top before we're going to the next repetition. Tempo work increases time under tension. It reinforces position and reduces reliance on momentum. What RPE means, RPE is the rate of perceived exertion. It measures how challenging a set feels on a scale from 1 to 10, based on how many reps you have left in reserve. A practical strength training scale, RPE 5, is a very comfortable, relatively easy set. RPE 6 would be a moderate effort. RPE 7 is challenging but controlled. RPE 8 is hard set. RPE 9 would be very hard, and RPE 10 would be a max effort. How to choose the right RPE? First, I would complete your first set conservatively. At the end of that set, ask how many clean reps could I have done with that same tempo and form. From there, I would adjust the load accordingly for the next set. For example, if the target is RPE 6 and you feel like you could have done 6 or 7 more reps, the weight is a little too light. If you're barely finishing the prescribed reps, it's too heavy. Using the RPE scale is nice because it accounts for sleep, your stress, your recovery, and your daily readiness. Use it honestly, and it will help you out. Tempo must remain intact. If the tempo breaks down, the set is too heavy, regardless of your perceived effort. Now let's discuss building up to your working sets. You might see 3 sets of prescribed exercise in any given program. What this means is there are 3 working sets prescribed. What I would recommend is warm up the desired range of motion with no weight or very, very light weight to establish the sound range of motion and make sure everything feels okay. Usually ranging anywhere from 10 to 15 reps for that first warm-up set. Following that set, I would increase the weight based on the movements being executed and how easily the warm-up set felt, and I would perform a second warm-up set, but this time only maybe 6 to 8 reps. After that, I would then perform a third warm-up set. I would increase the weight a little more and perform only 3 to 5 reps this time. Using this third set, I would gauge how hard it felt and adjust the weight for my first working set. With these working sets, you will sometimes see a suggested rep range. Example, rep range 8 to 12 repetitions. What this means is if you cannot hit at least 8 repetitions, it is too heavy. If you can get over 12 repetitions, it's too light. As the program progresses, you will get a better gauge of how much weight you're capable of lifting, and you'll be able to understand your RPE alongside of it. And remember, always prioritize repeatable mechanics over load progression, meaning if the mechanics of the form are breaking down, don't increase the load. It may be wise to decrease the load and focus on proper range of motion. Hope you find this helpful. Make sure to like and follow for more.